Well, here we are again. Hi, guys. Hi, Harry. How are you, bro?
Doing well.
Good. Yeah. Well, um,
Well, let's say we're doing better than the Queen's doing.
oh, yeah, I think we are, aren't we? Hmm. Well, who knows? I mean, she's probably been around for 200 years, but I reckon she died ages ago. I've been saying that for a long time.
I'd say somewhere after May sometime.
Oh, I'd say back in 2016.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, guys, have we got something for you? Oh, my word. Let's just get straight into it, Harry. Um, and let's get this shared with our awesome subscribers. Okay, so we're calling this one with those for those with eyes to see the lies. This, guys, is going to blow you away. Okay, this is why I learned to question everything. I mean, just look at that for a second. I mean, two tape measures from the same company, Stanley. Hmm. Which one would you measure your dick with, Harry? The top one or the bottom one? Sorry, I couldn't resist. All right, how many of you can read that? I'm not going to read it to you. Harry can read it. I can read it. Just pause the video and just see how easy it is to read that. Now, what do you see? What do you see? If you can't see the word sex in between the flowers, you ain't looking. And when you can see it, once you can see it, you cannot unsee it.
It's the empty space that you have to look at, not the colors or the shades.
Yes. Look at the white empty space,
Mhm.
and then show it your friends and see how many of your friends can see it. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. This one tickled me. Looks like God didn't want to save the Queen after all. I'm an expert on mental health and food disorders, says the obese man who thinks he's a woman. Have you been mocking us since the beginning of recorded civilization? Yes. Sir, the Queen is dead. What? The whole band? Oh, choose your leader.
None of the above.
Absolutely. Okay. So let's get into some numbers, guys. We know from our extensive research that, and with people such as Logan and Jason, that this realm, the operating system is pi 3.14, and the code of nature, Fibonacci, etc., 1.61. Well, 3 plus 1 plus 4 is 8. 1 plus 6 plus 1 is 8. So that gives us the 88. Look at the symbol for phi. Round and down you go. We all know what 88 is, or what the 8 is, reincarnation. Would it surprise you to know that the word matrix and the word script are a perfect match in all four ciphers? And we've got the 77 there in reverse ordinal, as well as the 31. We're going to do a whole new podcast on the number 31. It ain't what you think. But the interesting number here is 77. Now, the podcast that you and I did last week, Harry, this just knocked me for six. Oh, you're right. Was essentially about all based on November the 6th. Well, November is the 11th month, which is 66. Now, guys, we just come on here, we hit the record button, and when we finish, we say see you later, and we finish the recording, or we stop the recording. But look at the timestamp: 33:51. 3 and 3 is 6. 5 and 1 is 6. And the whole podcast was about November the 11th, 66. There's 66 in the timestamp. Right. On the one that I just did on my own, because you were busy, Harry, and weren't able to jump in. I mentioned these mugs being in the shops already, and one of our awesome subscribers left a comment and said, "Nige, I work in a tea shop. These were from her Jubilee from earlier this year. So I have to redact that. The world you were raised to survive in no longer exists. No, it does not. Let's make one thing clear. The experts were never wrong. They were always lying.
You know, one thing about the previous slide, where you say the world you were raised in doesn't exist. You know how many young people in their 20s say to me, man, I wish I grew up in the 80s.
Yeah, I can believe it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the time where we grew up in, and they long for that type
Yeah,
of time to be back, you know,
yeah,
prior to all the technological stuff like cell phones and computers and instant messaging and all that.
totally agree. Yep. Still more believable than the official story.
Yeah.
Okay, if you can poke royalty on the chest like they are your bitch, you may be a him.
That's true.
So we now have King Charles, KC. K is the 11th letter, C is the third. So what? Oh, it gives us March. No, sorry, it should be March 11. It gives us March 11,
Yeah.
not March the 3rd. So my bad. Yeah. So you know what the 311 is, guys. Grasp this: they create a fantasy and put it in the news. You then go out and live according to the fantasy, thereby making it real. It's their black magic, and it doesn't work without you.
That's another example of the mirror taking over reality.
Yes.
Right? Because
Yep.
they create that their black scrying mirror is going to make the masses do what they want.
Yes. When the universe is trying to tell us something, we should listen.
Can you spell her last name? Cunt. Yes.
Ah. Okay. So Queenie was, so they say, was born April 21, 1926. That's a date numerology of 70. She was on the throne for 70 years, 214 days, 2 plus 1 plus 4 is 7, and she passed 77 years and 7 days after World War II. He resigned 7/7. I know this is in the previous podcast, but this is important because there's more information all tied to this. And he was, they say, the 77th Prime Minister of England. We have this conference coming up on 6/11, which is what we talked about in our last one, Harry. And it's the 77th conference. Where have we seen sevens? Yeah. And this is so funny because just before you and I got on here, Harry, I was watching Brian over on High Impact Flicks, and I went to click the like button, and it changed to 777 as I clicked the like button. I mean, how insane. So she died September the 8th, and quote unquote King Charles has announced the period of mourning will be extended for 7 days. There's a 7 again, to the 25th. Well, that's interesting because September the 25th is 113. Are you seeing it yet, guys?
11/3.
Yeah, or 311. So from her birthday this year until the date of her passing is 140 days. You can see it just here, guys. 140 days. Queen of England is 140. And from the date of her funeral is supposed to be, which is the 26th, because they were talking about it being on the 19th, and then if we add Charles's extra week, we'll take it to the 26th. It's 7 weeks, and it's also, sorry, this is from her funeral to Charles' birthday is 1 month and 19 days. 119. And remember, from the first Q post until the news of her death is 1776 days. Well, 1776 encodes 777 because 1 plus 6 is 7. 777. And that's, you know, with the America, the founding fathers, we know F is the 6th letter. We all know what FF is, false flag. So FF is 66, 66 books in the Bible. So we're all at 6s and 7s. Now, if you're not familiar, and if you're not raised or from the UK, from England, you probably won't know what this phrase means. To be at sixes and sevens means to be confused. Yeah. Oh, I'm all sixes and sevens. I don't know which way I'm going. I don't know what to do next, kind of thing. Her Majesty the Queen is 67. Really? King is 67. And we know that 77 is connected to 119. Shout out to Mike for this from Sherlock's Apprentice. King of England is 119 and 52. Well, they both reduce to 119 reduces to 11, and 52 is 7. So there's your 7-11 or 11-7. We know September is really the 7th month. This is from over here. 65 million people currently under lockdown. But the interesting thing is, there are 33 cities in China. There's your 33 again.
And that 65. Remember, we talked about 65 and 56.
Yeah.
We saw the one film company, the 5-6 motion picture. It's all coding the same thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they tell us that the dinosaurs got wiped out 65 million years ago. So whenever you see 56 or 65, remember that in Chaldean, lights, camera, action is 56. We're living in a movie. Okay, so we have King Charles, 33 in Chaldean. 33 million watched television coverage as the news broke. Viewing figures peaking at 9.83 million.
9/11,
yeah, 8 and 3 is 11. Now, I wasn't aware of this, but apparently the Pope is, the Queen or the King is not the only person to be coronated. The Pope is also crowned or coronated. And the current Pope was coronated on 19th of March 2013. Okay, so what does that tell us? Well, March the 19th, if we add up the little letters, the individual letters, we get 19. And if we add up the date numerology, we get 55. So March the 19th, 2013, and add up the numbers, you get 19. So you've got a twin 19 there, and you've got 55. Well, 55 is Satan. Okay. Now, the Queen or the King is known as a monarch. Mon, as we all know, means one, and arch means archon. Archon means ruler, one ruler. Revelation 9, verse 11, and they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, and in the Greek tongue has the name Apollyon. So we all know that this guy was Charlie's buddy, and it's interesting that the name Savile is an anagram of evil as, and if you change the A to an O, you get so vile. Now, all the news of what he did came out after his death. Okay, so is this part of the script? I mean, I'm not saying he didn't do what people say he did, but it's like now the Queen's died, all this stuff from 1964 is coming out about these kids that went missing in Canada. Well, what are you going to do? You can't prosecute these guys. They're dead. Is this just part of the script? The same as all this Epstein stuff?
Well, it's no different, Nigel, that when they say, oh, all of the footage and files from the assassination of that president, that will all be released in 70 years. Well, in 70 years, all the people who are old enough to care are going to be dead.
That's right. That's right. Is it all part of the script? Well, her full name was Elizabeth Alexandra Mary Windsor, which just happens to be 96. And how old was she when she died? 96.
Oh, 96.
And I think it was last year when Philip died, her husband died. He was age 99, and he died on the 99th day of the year.
Yeah.
How many nines have we been seeing in our last couple of podcasts, Harry, with all these football games?
09, yeah.
9, yeah. All right, so somebody posted this or a clip from this series in our Telegram group. It's a series called the Orville, And this little clip that they posted absolutely blew me away. I can't play it for copyright reasons. But it's interesting that Orville is 93. The sun's 93 million miles away, so they tell us. It's 39, which is a reverse of 93. But it's 96, which is how old the Queen was when she died, and it's 42. Well, 42 is connected to the meaning of life.
Yeah.
Okay, so none of this is by accident. So it's a little bit like Star Trek, guys. They're out on their spaceship, and they pick up this signal. They call it an artificial mass. They don't call it a spaceship. They call it an artificial mass, which I thought was a very, very interesting choice of words. So they get in their shuttle, those three lights there, that's their shuttle, and they head over to this artificial mass, which they say is 2,000 years old. All right, stay with me on this. This is the artificial mass. Now, it's basically floating in space. It's not going anywhere. It's kind of drifting, right? And the interesting thing is that they can't penetrate the hull. They can't do a scan because they can't get through the hull with their scanners when they're in their spaceship. But when they get there in their shuttle, they're able to tell that there's breathable air inside. Well, a minute ago they couldn't penetrate it, now they can. Okay, so this is them. They're standing in their shuttle. Basically, they've docked, and they're going up to this door. And it's interesting that when they try to open the door, the captain says this door hasn't been opened for centuries. Okay. So they go inside, they get the door open, they go inside, and they're walking across this bridge. And this is the view from the bridge. This thing is huge. And when they get the other side of the bridge, they find another door. And they open that door and walk through. And that is what is inside. Now, they do a scan to see if there are there any other people here? And the guy says there are millions of people. So who are these guys, Harry?
Well, he said millions of life forms, maybe animals.
Okay, okay, millions of life forms.
Yeah.
So who are these people? Would these people be seen as gods? Would these people be seen as aliens? If this, and they call it a bioship, right? And I posted this in Logan's, that little clip in Logan's Telegram group, and somebody came back with this: bioship is 666. And we know that this is the 666 realm. So if these people that were on that shuttle meet up with some of the life forms, are those life forms going to see them as gods? Elohim, maybe Elohim? I don't know, but it's certainly food for thought, guys.
Well, remember, who is Seth MacFarlane too?
Yeah.
Remember what happened to him 22
years ago.
21 years ago.
Yeah.
He avoided a disaster.
Yeah, by not getting on the plane. Yeah. Well, anyway, and I think it was Kurt that posted this in our Telegram group. Shout out to him. This just made me laugh. If you have divine spiritual discernment, you would know this is a massive truth drop. Okay. Remember the Star of Bethlehem? That is a starship named the Star of Bethlehem, and it's commanded by Archangel Gabriel, Sananda, aka Jesus' dad. Yeah, okay. But just for a giggle, I put Star of Bethlehem in the gematria calculator. It's 67 and 77.
That confusion again.
Oh my God. Now, I posted this in the solo video that I did the other day. Harry, you and I have done podcasts talking about the beast, the 666, right? And we've always said that it's money, it's cash, it's currency. But then this guy made me think: if you don't remember your name, your real name, no entity can have dominion over you in this reality. It's a firewall. What if the name we are known by is the mark of the beast? I mean, when you think of the forehead, you've got to think what your name is. You've got to remember your name. And on the right hand, you're going to sign your name, aren't you? So you've still got that forehead and right hand connection with your name.
Unless you're
Again,
left-handed.
unless you're left-handed, yeah. But again, guys, we're just putting it out there. It's just food for thought. Okay. And the thing is, I spoke to Kim about this, and she kind of says it resonated with her.
Oh, but wait, Nigel, even left-handed people write their name.
Oh, of course, yeah, yeah, they write their name. Okay, well, I put name in the gematria calculator. Very, very interesting, because in the main English cipher it's 33, and in full reduction and Chaldean it's 15. Well, that's 666. 3 and 3 is 6. 1 and 5 is 6. 1 and 5 is 6. Interesting. 15 is the devil card. The mark, it's known, we call it the mark of the beast, but it's abbreviated to the mark. And the mark is 113 again. This is interesting. This is Tesla's 369. And if you just look at that for a sec, 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3, all the way through to 9 plus 9 plus 9, 27. All reduces to 9, 3, 6, and 9. And if you put 666, or write out 666, it's 156. And for those of you that don't know, 911 is the 156th prime number. Now, that thing, it was talking about a spacecraft. Well, we know that space is not what they tell us. So I put spacecraft into the calculator in all 5 ciphers. Look at that. You've got 3 11s and 2 7s. There's another 711. 711, which is September 11. And, you've got the 11 and 7, and then we've got this another 11.7 billion. But Missouri has got Blackwater. Okay, and just see the connection. Forget the spacecraft thing, but look at the real meaning of 7 and 11, or 11 and 7. 11.7 billion. And then I put witchcraft, which is very, very interesting, Harry, because not only does it give us the 111, but in Chaldean it gives us that magical 37, which is the midpoint of the 8, 1937-46. Shout out to Logan for cracking that code. And if we go from Charles's last birthday until when the funeral's supposed to be, which is the 25th, it's 10 months, 11 days. Well, there's another 111. 10 months, 11 days. Now, according to this, the day of the Queen, I wanted to see what the official mourning period, when it started. I can't find it. But they said it's called D-Day. It's known as D-Day. Well, D-Day would be DD, which is 2 4s, fourth letter of the alphabet. So look at 44. Fallen angels 44 and 55. 55 is devil. Oh, sorry, Satan. Fallen angel is 44. And this is really interesting for those of you that are interested in numbers. Just have a look at that. I'm not going to read it all out. You can see it plain as day. But it's all concentrated around that 8, the number 8, which is the reincarnation. Again, you can read that. I'm not going to read all this out, but it's just, it is what it is. And shout out to Mike from Sherlock's Apprentice. He sent me this while I was in bed last night. And the connection here, Harry, is the September. We call it the 9th month, but the connection here is the 919, which is an inverted 616, and we've done podcasts on the 616. But the craziest thing of all, guys, is I don't know what made me look. I thought, what time did he send me that? You ain't gonna believe it. He sent me that at 1:16 a.m., which is an inverted 911. It's all a script, guys. It's a script all playing out. I will, if I can find the link, I'll put the link in the show notes to this, or in the pinned comment. But you see what they're doing to a pig, This is from 2009, Alan Watt, October the 30th, 2009, and he basically has got evidence that this 3-part thing that you can see in yellow there was formulated back in 1972, 50 years ago. That's how long they've been.
And look at what they're giving the inoculation to.
Yeah.
And what's that symbol? What's that symbol right below?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
United Nations symbol right there.
Yep. You can't make this up. So yeah, I mean, guys, you don't. I mean, if you want to watch it. It's only 5 minutes, but all the information that he talks about is actually there on the screen right now. All from 1972.
Just to be Mr. Obvious, who's the long pig?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Who is the long pig? Yeah. So, what are your thoughts, bro?
Well, again, for people who are not kind of with their eyes open, like you titled this, the numbers will jump out at you and cause you to be shocked. For those who are, kind of been drinking the coffee and already awake, the numbers are no surprise. But it's pretty obvious that everything is just scripted out. The scriptures are the script they're following. And we just have to be able to see between the lines and make our choice. And that choice is don't pick either side.
Do you think that Orville thing? Do you think that's a truth drop?
Oh, no doubt about it. I think what they're telling us is this is just a construct. You can leave anytime you want. You don't have to stay here. If you do come in, you're going to be part of the play. So if you want to get trapped here, stay here.
Well, if you take that concept just for a moment, Harry, that bio ship is essentially what this realm is. When you think of the AI, when you think of the 3.14, the pi, the phi, all being part of that construct, it makes so much sense. Mm-hmm. I know it sounds fucking Fruit Loopy. I know it sounds crazy, but we can't take it off the table. We can't take anything off the table right now.
This is a rewriting of the Truman Show.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
It's just a modern day version of it, and they're telling you that once you see that door, you need to walk right through it and never turn back. That's it.
Yeah, I totally agree. All right, buddy. Anything you want to finish with?
No, I think you said plenty in there.
Well, that took me all day yesterday to put that presentation together. 7 or 8 hours to grab all the information and put it all into that format. But it really was that little clip from the Orville. I don't know who posted it originally, but whoever it was, thank you. Because I watched it and it just hit me. It just hit me like a ton of bricks, and I just went, wow. Because when you understand, or when you begin to understand that this is just a construct, I mean, Logan's proven it time and time again on Decode Your Reality. I mean, guys, if you haven't checked out how to decode yourself on Logan's channel, it's called Decode Your Reality, and you'll find it's at the top. How to decode yourself, guys. You got to do it. You got to do it. It will blow you away. Absolutely insane.
Well, we've said it before that when you look into the reflection of your image, your image has to follow your movements. This copy is inverted. They would prefer the reflection that they're emitting on the black screen for you to mimic it. And that's where you step into the tar pit and get stuck and get recycled over and over again. That's what we cannot fall into.
I think it was Martin Leaker, who made a little very, very short 1 minute video, very thought-provoking. He says, you've never seen yourself.
No, never.
I mean, if you and I met in real, I would see the real Harry and you'd see the real Nigel.
But
But
you've
if I
never.
go and look in, if I go and look in the mirror, what am I looking at? Am I looking at me or am I looking at a reflection of me?
Mhm.
So, as crazy as that sounds, none of us have ever actually seen ourselves.
And you've only seen a reverse view of yourself.
Yeah,
You'd have to look at a mirror that is like a double mirror to see what actually other people see.
yeah. I think you'd need to have a mirror behind you and a mirror in front of you, and you look in that one. But then you wouldn't be able to see the reflection because your head would be in the way.
Yeah.
So it ain't gonna happen.
Exactly.
Oh, and the other thing I want to give a shout out to James Brockhurst. He made an awesome comment on my that solo video that I did, saying that he reckons that Charles will be around for about 10 months.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with that. I should have said that in the podcast, but I didn't. But yeah, James, shout out to you, brother. I totally agree with you.
Yeah,
Totally agree.
I don't see the monarchy system lasting too much longer. I don't think it's going to go halfway into 23.
I think it's finished, to be honest, and
Mhm.
and rightly so. Rightly so. Why should one person have all that power? And they don't, because you saw that picture of Charles being,
Yeah.
you do what you're told. So we know who the true powers are. But
Well, again, they're shuffled into the forefront,
yeah,
and I think the real controllers are behind the scenes.
yeah, we
No
don't
one,
see them.
nobody really knows. Even the Rothschilds, they're probably peons compared to
Yeah,
who's really up at the top crust of
yeah, yeah,
control.
absolutely. Whoever's driving whoever's the captain of that bio ship. Yeah, we're never going to see that too. We're never going to see him.
No.
All right, guys. Well, look, like, share, subscribe if you haven't. Comment below. Let us know what you think. We always value your feedback. We always value your comments. And we will see you very soon.
All right, you guys take care.
Cheers, guys.